I pray. I pray, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? I tithe religiously, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? And then I read this book and realized maybe I wasn't listening.
Contrary wins. For those who want to give up but need to know greater is coming. Buy now on He Did Not Forget Me.
So Dame Dash, man, his 33% share of Rockefeller is now going to auction with the opening bid starting at $1.2 million. Now the U.S. Marshals are pretty much selling off his stake in Rockefeller to pay off a debt that he got. He was sued with someone by $800,000 that he has to pay him back. We know that Dame has been embroiled in a whole bunch of lawsuits, accused of this, accused of that, bad business deals. So they also were saying that Kareem's Biggs Burke tried to come in and change the bylaws and stop the sale, but they're going to go on with this sale, man. And people are going to line up. The opening bid starting at 1.2. This can go for 10, 20. Who knows how high it's going to go? Well, what's your thoughts on Dame Dash's stake of Rockefeller being auctioned off for a starting bid of $1.2 million?
Jay-Z's going to get it. Let's not even have that debate.
That's not even
That's not even a debate. That's Jay-Z's. And shout out to Biggs Burke for quietly, because he's kind of always moved in silence from what we see, being a real one and trying to kind of save face for Dame Dash. We seen a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you did. I think Dame went on social media and was like, "I'm selling my stake." He was trying to go ahead and move it himself before it even went to auction, I guess, in an effort to recoup the money and do his thing. And I seen something on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it today, because it was obviously going around, and I thought this was interesting. I want to bring this question up because this was crazy. It was a guy by the name of Barry Spike. He said, Dame got on Breakfast Club and slandered the everyday working man, literally called any man who works for someone not a man, and said calling a man a boss is like calling him daddy. Just for him to end up like this, there's a lesson here somewhere. And I was like, God damn. Because we looked at that interview. That was probably one of the most iconic Breakfast Club hip-hop interviews we've ever seen. And I remember during that time we had topic for conversations with men sitting across from us talking about this conversation, and we couldn't agree with them more. You know what I mean? But when things get tough and things get rough, we also can look at each other as men and understand we will do whatever needs to be done as men to take care of our families. And when you look at this situation, and I'm not saying Dame isn't doing that, don't know his personal business to that, but when you look at where he was then and where it's eventually came now, a lot of people may say they might have saw it coming, but God damn, what a crash. What a car accident this has been. For now, he sits here and has to give up a third of his stake over an $800,000 debt that you would think Dame Dash would be able to wipe his ass with. I'm sure in videos we've seen him pour champagne over $800,000.
Yeah.
Somebody that we've definitely grew a kinship with, who we definitely appreciate and who we definitely respect. This is sad times for Dame Dash.
Yeah, because let's just be real about this. If he had the capital, the money, you would just pay this shit off so you can keep your stake, and then sell it if you're going to sell it. You wouldn't have the U.S. Marshals come in and force a sale. So as far as what the guy was saying, I remember one of Rick Ross's comments. He said, "I'll shovel shit, I'll CEO, so my kids can play over the meatloaf." Meaning that, I might be a businessman, but it might be a time I go get me a job. And I've been there before. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, shit, I got to get me a job to supplement it. And some people get a job in order to move into business. And sometimes you got to go back and get a job. Ain't no shame in that. So I will never, ever, look down on a working person, working man, working woman. Because even in your company, you need working men that's going to work and do things for your company. Mm-hmm. It's silly to but with that being said, I understand what Dane was saying.
Me too.
But entrepreneurship ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like, cause a friend of mine owns a boxing gym, and it looked bleak for him for a minute. Now it's looking good. But the only difference is people just don't quit. We was talking about the other day. The only difference with any business that fails and succeeds is we don't quit. As many times we could say, man, forget this, bro. I'm hanging it up. I'm spending more than I'm making. It's just you don't quit and you keep moving on and struggling and striving and moving money here and doing this and doing that to keep moving forward. So with Dame, it looks bad. It looks horrible because you want to, and not that you can't make mistakes, but this is a guy who's been in a $300 million, damn near $1 billion company, mm-hmm. and boasts and brags about this and that and this and that. And now your share is being sold off. And you can't tell me that you want it to be sold off. You can't tell me that.
Yeah. Hell
You know?
no, he don't. Hell no, he don't.
So it's just like, it just looks a little hypocritical. But people fall on hard times. I'll fall on hard times. So I'm not really condemn Dame Dash, but it looks. I'm gonna tell you how it looks bad. It looks bad.
This is what I wish Dame Dash would have kind of Dame Dash fucked up where he kind of glamorized the great side of business, but didn't give you the ugly truth about business that I'm sure he knew about. Relationships. What happens when shit gets muddy? What happens when shit goes bad? Because it will go bad. It ain't a matter of if, it's when it goes bad. How are you going to transition? How are you going to be able to do what you have to do? And if it's in the case where it goes too bad and you need to feed your family, then brother, go get you a job. You ain't nothing wrong to turn your face down to do that. He kind of shit on that whole situation like, I'm a flipper, I'm this, I'm that. Kind of gave that, you're
You
a
ain't got
provider.
$800,000 to flip. You ain't where the
Not
money.
now.
Right.
I ain't got less than that to flip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody should be turning their head at that. But for him in particular to say all the things that he said over the years, it looks hypocritical.
Yeah.
And now you're dealing with what every business person I'm sure has dealt with. Do you have the chops to break yourself out of it? Doesn't look like it. And I'm not saying that makes you less of a man. It just makes you, less of a businessman.
Woo.
This shit ain't for everybody, man. And sometimes I question if it's for me. Sometimes I'm sure we question if it's for each other. But you know what we don't do?
Yeah.
Quit.
Right.
It is what it is.
Because like you said, man, the hard times is see, everything, it's just like anything else. When everything is great, it's great. It's smooth. Like, you running everything, you got money. When it gets bad, that's when it's just like anything else that you do. It's like, damn.
How you gonna respond?
Yeah, how you gonna respond? You know what I mean? And it but again, it makes you into something different, a different type of animal. You know what I mean? Where you can go through, hard times and bounce back, and go through hard times and bounce back, and eventually it'll be good. I mean, look at any billionaire now. I mean, anybody who has a story, they'll tell you they slept in a car, they got rock bottom, they got foreclosed on, they lost cars, and it'll look very bleak. It didn't, at some point it just went for them. Mm-hmm. It changed for them. People started in their damn garage, Microsoft and shit. So it's like Nipsey said it the best. It's a marathon. Mm-hmm. It ain't a sprint. So yeah, man. I always loved. We had Dame on a few years ago. Yep. Always loved Dame.
Yep.
But it's certain things that I think issues need to be pulled to the carpet with Dame, and we're not afraid to go at anybody on this program. Not one person.
Nah.
We'll give you the truth. It don't matter.
He made some very, very crucial mistakes throughout his time, and he ain't recovered from them, and that's something he's going to have to look into the mirror for. But
facts.
That is what it is. What else we got, dog?
Let's talk about Dame Dash's former business partner, man, Jay-Z. Well, 50 Cent is pretty much accusing Jay-Z and Roc Nation of blocking, not wanting him to even perform at the Super Bowl, but Eminem was there, and he's pretty much saying, Eminem wouldn't do it without him. What's your thoughts on that? I believe it, for sure.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I believe it 100%. That's a level of petty I definitely think Jay-Z is on. And if he had any hand in it or had any control over it, and there was a lot of discussion on Jay-Z's relationship with the NFL, especially around the time my squad, the Commanders, started changing out their ownership because Dan Snyder had something to do with some things that were being leaked by the NFL. Okay. And one of those things were Jay-Z's relationship with the NFL because he wanted done more as it came to social justice and things weren't being done. So I don't know that the relationship seemed fickle as it was. Okay. So if a Jay-Z tried to basically flex his muscle and say, nah, dude ain't getting on there, I could see how there could be something, and okay, now Eminem putting his foot down saying I'm not performing. Eminem was the huge cash cow for that Super Bowl. Yeah. I know it was a salute to West Coast and hip-hop, but everybody knew it was Eminem. Unfortunately, because Snoop and Dre and everybody else was out there, but it was an Eminem show. And yeah, I could see that 100% happening, dog.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it's 50 Cent's on like a tell-all spree right now. So, yeah, and then this is even kind of leads into the whole Chris Brown, because everybody and their mama saying Chris Brown should be at the Super Bowl next year, but he not, because Jay-Z don't rock with him. Jay-Z don't rock with 50 Cent. They've been going at each other for years, and it's weird to me, because I don't even know where things started to go wrong with them, but obviously there's a history, but that's just petty as hell. Like, why are you doing that, Jay?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
If we talking hip hop beef, that's nonsense.
Right.
You guys are making so much money. Y'all should be out here making money together. You know what I mean? Cigar to cigar, chilling. We should see business transactions being done. The hip hop beef, leave that to the wayside. Ain't neither one of y'all talking about no hip hop beef.